Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Thursday, the 21st day of February.
And that means tomorrow's Friday.
It does mean tomorrow's Friday, but it means today is National Grain-Free Day, so everybody gets grain for free, apparently.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, you're supposed to avoid grain? Is that what that means? I don't know. You could read that either way. Grain-free day today. It's also National Sticky Bun Day today. So, do you like sticky buns?
No, I shower every
Would you stop
day.
it? That's not what I'm talking about.
No, I really do love
you?
those things.
I think so, too.
Yes.
I
prefer those over cinnamon rolls every
Really?
time. Yes. Oh,
Huh. Good
the
to
ones
know.
with the almonds on top, or
Yeah.
not the almonds, but the,
The stuff. The good stuff. I don't know what you're talking
not
about.
the almonds. They're caramel, and they've got nuts
Walnuts?
on top. I don't know what they are.
You lost me. Hey, coming up, we got a Dear John letter, but it's better than a Dear John letter. It's a Dear Devon letter. I'm kind of loving this pawning things off to other people thing, because last week we had an expert help me. This week I have Devon Franklin. He's an award-winning film and TV producer, best-selling author, renowned preacher, and spiritual coach. We're gonna ask him some questions for Dear John letters today.
Do you have a pretty good sense of humor? You might like this. Early in the morning each day and every day, we share something weird to make people laugh at weirdgiftoftheday.com. You don't need to sign up for anything. You don't even need to spend a penny. Just follow the page on Facebook and get a smile to start each day when we share the weird gift of the day. Not on Facebook? That's okay. You can see the weird gifts on our website too. weirdgiftoftheday.com. That's weirdgiftoftheday.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.net. A survey from the Treasury Department found that Amazon is going to pay $0 in federal income taxes for a second year in a row. There are some people online freaking out about this. And I understand when you hear they're paying nothing in taxes, but I think that they are paying some things, aren't they? I guess I don't quite understand it. Do you?
I don't know how it works. There seems to be
like if
an
that
awful
works,
lot of loopholes.
whoever they are working with, we would really like to start working with
Right,
you.
right. I mean, how are they getting that? I don't
it.
understand.
Again, I'm not complaining because I don't know what is even happening, but I know there are some people that have lost their minds online. I'm sure there's a reason. There has to be a reason. So, again, I don't quite get it.
Okay,
I
so
have
the
a link.
company itself might not, which is common with a lot of companies, but I guarantee you the CEO who
All
makes...
the people that are making the money.
Right,
so.
right. They are individually,
Yeah, I
but
don't
the
know.
company itself might not
I don't
because
know.
their expenses may... You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it works. I've got a link to the story if you want to read all about it, but that gets way too close to the subject of politics, and we try to steer clear of that, even during surveys and studies and such on the John and Heidi Show. Credit cards. For years, I didn't use credit cards. We paid off all of our debt and we quit using credit altogether. But then our credit score went down. It was affecting our insurance rates. Not sure why, but that's tied to your credit score. I'm not suggesting you rack up credit card debt just to rack up credit card debt. But my wife and I now each use a credit card and then we pay them off every month. It's helped our credit score. But not all cards are the same. Some cards are better than others. If you'd like to find one that's the best fit for you, check out bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net. And this is your brain on drugs. A Pasco County, Florida man who danced through his field sobriety test after being found sleeping in his running truck is now facing DUI charges. They say he was on Grand Boulevard, spotted in a truck with his brake lights on in the front of a closed business. When they went to check on the man, they found a 33-year-old Christopher Larson asleep at the driver's wheel, or in the driver's seat rather, with his foot on the brake. According to the report, when he woke up, he forgot to put the truck in park. When he unlocked the door to get out, it started rolling, almost hit one of the deputies. So that's a bad idea. They had him perform a field sobriety test like they really needed to, but he did not pass. Body cam footage shows him losing his balance. Then he just started to dance, and he did a little walk and a turn. And
Hey, if
all
you're going
that
to fail
stuff.
anyway, you might as well do it with style.
0.28 BAC at the time. That's pretty bad. So 3 times the legal limit. He's under arrest for driving under the influence. I've got a link to the story. It's in the show notes. That is what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Orlando Bloom, you know who that is? He was in Lord of the Rings. He was in other stuff. He's
Vaguely.
He's an actor.
I mean, I don't know him.
He's an actor.
Know
He recently
of him very well, but I've heard the name.
Recently proposed
Sorry.
to Katy Perry.
Oh.
And now there are people who are saying, hey, that engagement ring looks a lot like the one you gave to your first wife. So he really is the Lord of the Rings.
I saw that ring. I think it looks like one of the rings that you would get out of one of those machines you put a quarter in and you
Really?
twist the handle.
I haven't seen it. I guess
it's
I
not.
haven't.
It looks.
It's
I
not
don't
your
know.
thing,
It looks
but-
kind of plastic
Would
to
you
me.
stop? I don't know. Her name is
Just
Heidi.
saying. What?
I don't know anybody listening to I have a ring just like that.
No, I doubt it. It was a
All
big
right.
gaudy red thing.
Like
Looked
the-
like
a
one of
ring
the free
pop?
rings you get at the dentist.
Real Housewives of New York, Ramona Singer and Jill Zarin, they're going to be supporting their friend Luann DeSep's show in Miami. So they're going to be going there to head. I still don't understand the whole Real Housewives thing. I've not watched any of it, so maybe that's why I don't understand it. But
Yeah, I
there's
don't
people that love it.
Watch that stuff.
Now it's all of that is going to wrap up our Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
Join us in Las Vegas for 80s in the Desert. Hear awesome 80s music from Scandal, featuring Patti Smythe, A Flock of Seagulls, Richard Page of Mr. Mister, Tony Lewis from The Outfield, Pretty Poison, Thomas Dolby, and more. Also, meet people from your favorite 80s movies, like Robert Hayes from Airplane, E.G. Daily from Valley Girl, and more. May 3rd and May 4th. Get more info now at 80sinthedesert.rocks. Use promo code RADIO to save $25 per ticket.
Now, your scoop of the day, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.net. This is the newsiest piece of our program.
Newsiest.
The newsiest piece, because we go through, kind of like, like the evening report or the morning report or whatever. We have several stories in a row. I'm going to do my very best newsman for this
All right.
one. Parody news publisher The Onion is reportedly losing massive amounts of money. I believe it's because they used to have a corner on fake news. Now everybody's doing it. I just think... It's sad. I got to say this, and if you're a big fan of The Onion, I really apologize for saying this, but I've never understood it. And it's not that I don't like it, so I'm not against it. I've just never understood it. Anytime there's parody, I think it's confusing because then people will share that
Well, that's
thinking
just
it's
it.
real.
People will read it and they'll be like, "Oh my gosh!"
Did you hear this? And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, that's not true. Did you see it was from The Onion?
Right.
They're like, what is The Onion? I'm like, it's a parody news. It's
Yeah.
fake. They make the things up. But not everybody gets it. They don't
Right.
understand
They'll
that
just
it's
read
fake.
a headline and they think,
And
"Oh
then,
no!"
yeah, there's
and
all
then they
this,
share it.
If you don't believe me, click on any
But if
article.
you read the article,
Yeah, but click
you
on
can
any article
hear-
and then-
you can hear the sarcasm in the article.
But if you scroll down and look at the comments, see how many people are upset about it, not realizing that it's a parody.
Yeah.
I remember when Stephen Colbert put out his book. I don't remember, I Am America and You Can Too, I think is what it was called. You had gotten it for me for Christmas.
Yeah.
And I started reading it, and it was a funny book, and I used it when he did his show on Comedy Central. I loved
Right.
him. I don't watch the program
No,
now. But,
I don't like him
But
anymore.
I was halfway, not even halfway through, I was like 3 pages in, and I just said, I can't read this. Because it was all parody, and I don't want to read a bunch of parody stuff and have those fake facts stuck in my head.
Right.
Because then I'm not going to be able to remember what was real and what was fake. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So anyway,
I get it.
I'm sad for the people who love The Onion, and again, I'm not happy that they're not doing well. But a parody news publisher called The Onion is losing massive amounts of money, and there's nothing funny about that. So sad stuff. Let's move on to this. 2 backcountry skiers were recently killed in an avalanche over the
Oh,
weekend.
no.
This was in Colorado in a place called Death Pass.
Whoa.
So, you understand why they give it that name now. That is just really sad. Anything that has the word death in it, maybe don't go there.
yeah, really.
So it's just really, really, really sad. Southern California firefighters say they've rescued a cougar from the tree over the weekend. So Demi Moore says she's just fine. Just kidding. Is she even a cougar? I don't know who. I couldn't think on my feet. Who's a cougar? Online, somebody says Susan Sarandon. I don't know. Is she a
no.
cougar? I don't know who.
No. Really?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out.
No,
I know that's a term.
I would say Demi is. She's beautiful.
I know. So anyway, it was a real cougar, though. It wasn't just a lady. It was a real.
I get it.
Okay, I want to make sure
yeah.
I don't want people to pass this off as The Onion, and it's a parody thing. And we're going to get to at least one last story here. I think we got room for this one right here. Veteran art dealer Mary Boone was sentenced in Manhattan to 30 months in prison for tax evasion. That's not good. That's kind of sad.
Yeah, that's
So,
too bad.
we coming up here in just a bit, we've got a guest. Usually on Thursdays, we do a thing called Dear John Letters. And the last 2 weeks now, because today I've got a special guest, and last week we had a special guest help us out. We are still doing Dear John Letters. I've had people ask me, why did you quit doing that? We didn't quit doing it. I just seized the opportunity because I had a couple of guests that were experts.
So do you read them a Dear John letter?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you do?
So I don't read the whole letter. I just ask questions. So I've had some people submit questions. I don't know how many I'll get to, but the ones that I don't get to with Devon today, I'm going to get to those maybe starting next week. So
Okay.
we didn't quit doing Dear John letters. I just want to clear that up. I know there's some people that are wondering, why in the world did you quit? Well, we didn't quit.
Okay.
That's why it even still has the Dear John letter theme song. So it's coming your way. We're going to have Devon Franklin today helping us out. He's very smart dude. He's got a brand new book out, and it's about men, the truth about men. So that's all on the way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.
Do you have IRS tax problems? Are they keeping you up at night? Afraid to open your own mail or even answer your telephone? If your tax problems are affecting your family life, you need to know you have options. You have rights, and we'll make sure you get them. Call and speak with Mike Habib, the tax expert who will handle your case at 877-78-TAXES or online at myirs.taxrelief.com. That's 877-78-TAXES or myirs.taxrelief.com.
And it's time right now for Dear John letters.
Dear John, dear John.
Actually, just like we did last week, instead of me answering the question, I have found it's very easy for me to now pawn this off to other people. It is kind of Dear Devon letters today because we have Devon Franklin. He's an award-winning film and TV producer, best-selling author, renowned preacher, and spiritual success coach. And he has a brand new book that just recently came out just in time for Valentine's Day, which was last week. We've got this book called The Truth About Men, What Men and Women Need to Know. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm really doing well. How are you?
Fantastic. Congratulations on the success of your book. I think that is really, really cool. And you've been making the rounds on media. I've been seeing you all over the place. That's awesome. That's got to feel really good to know that everybody's so excited about your book.
Oh, man, it's great. It's really, really great. I mean, that's the whole point, is to have the opportunity to talk about it, and everyone's excited. And, I'm just grateful. And it's grateful to have a book that people want to hear more about.
Well, and I've got some, we're going to talk about your book for sure, but we do this little thing called Dear John letters where people write and ask for advice from me. I happen to have one here that's the perfect fit for this because I've got a young lady that she's trying to get the man in her life to pop the big question. They've been dating a long time. She's dropping hints. He's not getting the hints. So I thought maybe this would be a good thing to talk with you about so you can kind of talk maybe to her perspective, somebody who, wants this guy to ask, and maybe to his perspective as well. What kind of advice do you give for both sides there?
Yeah, I think two things. I think it's so important, the way that men operate and the way that women operate are different. And so as a woman in that situation, it's important for her to be clear and to be truthful and transparent. To say, hey, I want to know where this is going. I'm ready to get married. Are you ready to get married? Let me know what it is that I can expect. Because the truth is sometimes men, we can be oblivious or we can be on our own time clock. We could be missing the hints. And it's sometimes important not to have an unspoken expectation of what should happen. It's time to be clear and bring it into the light. And for the man, if he's been in a relationship and, it's been some time, he needs to get clear himself. Am I really serious about this woman? Are we going to be leading to marriage? And if I'm not, then it's time to bring it to an end and move on instead of leading her on and being in a situation that can ultimately become painful.
I love that. See, that's way better advice than I would have given. It's like you're an expert on this stuff.
I don't know, man. I think we all trying to figure it out. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Again, visiting with Devon Franklin right now. He is the author of the newest book here that's just coming out. It's brand new. It's called The Truth About Men, What Men and Women Need to Know. Why was it that you decided, hey, it's time to put this book out? Are you getting a lot of the same kind of questions over and over and over?
Yeah, everybody wants to know, about the truth, and then, everybody wants to know, well, what did we do? And I wrote this book, and I thought it was time. I had the idea years ago, and, just as a person kind of, man, figuring out my own manhood, I thought now was the time to talk about it. And, for so often as men, we struggle. We aren't always honest about the struggle. We don't always know what to do about our struggles. So I wanted to write a book that can give us insight on what to do and give women information along the way. It's not about women becoming better. In my opinion, I think women are already doing their work. But as men, we don't always do our work. Sometimes we're not always accountable and responsible for our behavior. So I wanted to write a book that would motivate us as men to do our work and give women information along the way.
Well, congratulations on the early success of this book and on the things you've done in the past. I'm reading here, Oprah Winfrey's called you a bona fide dynamo. That's got to feel really good.
Oh, it feels really good and humbling. It's like someone giving you a shoe that's too big. You're trying to fit it. amazing, and it's just I'm blessed to even know her and be on her radar in that way.
Well, the book is available right now, and I think this is really cool. This time of year with Valentine's Day, with other things that are in this time of year, a lot of people are looking for help when it comes to relationships. So I think the timing on this book is perfect.
Oh, wow. Thank you. I think so, too. I mean, this is a book for men and women, and what better time to read it and become better than to do something on Valentine's Day that's more than just chocolates and candy. What about engaging and investing in your relationship?
Again, the book is called The Truth About Men, What Men and Women Need to Know. Devon, thank you again for the time, sir.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Again, Devon Franklin has been our guest today. The book, The Truth About Men, is available now. I've got a link to that book in our show notes for today, and you'll find that at johnandheidishow.com. Credit cards. For years, I didn't use credit cards. We paid off all of our debt, and we quit using credit altogether. But then our credit score went down. It was affecting our insurance rates. Not sure why, but that's tied to your credit score. I'm not suggesting you rack up credit card debt just to rack up credit card debt, but my wife and I now each use a credit card, and then we pay them off every month. It's helped our credit score. But not all cards are the same. Some cards are better than others. If you'd like to find one that's the best fit for you, check out bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A chicken can live without its head mostly chopped off. Did you know that? For 18 months in the early 1940s, Mike the Headless Chicken lived.
Months.
Yeah, Mike the Headless Chicken lived with most of his head cut off. And here's what happened. His owner was a farmer, Frank Lloyd. He was going to cook the chicken, and when he went to chop the chicken's head off, he moved, and he only half decapitated him and ended up missing the jugular vein and the brainstem. That allowed him to survive for 18 unbelievable, death-defying months. And he provided joy in his hometown of Frutia, Colorado, where they would hold an annual festival in his honor, Mike the Headless Chicken. So it's just bizarre that could even happen, but it can. So I've got all of that information in the show notes for today. If you missed any of it, you can find that at johnandheidishow.com.
Join us in Las Vegas for 80s in the Desert. Hear awesome 80s music from Scandal, featuring Patty Smythe, A Flock of Seagulls, Richard Page of Mr. Mister, Tony Lewis from The Outfield, Pretty Poison, Thomas Dolby, and more. Also, meet people from your favorite 80s movies, like Robert Hayes from Airplane, E.G. Daily from Valley Girl, and more. May 3rd and May 4th. Get more info now at 80sinthedesert.rocks. Use promo code RADIO to save $25 per ticket.
Now, fear this. Heidi, it's time for fun with phobias. Hylophobia. 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 What do you think that could be?
I don't know on this.
Hylophobia. I don't understand why, but it's the fear of trees.
Oh.
You'd think it'd be triophobia.
Okay.
Maybe not that, but hylophobia? I don't know. Hylo.
Yeah, that one doesn't make sense to me.
Phobia. Today's fun with phobias. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.
Do you have a pretty good sense of humor? You might like this. Early in the morning each day and every day, we share something weird to make people laugh at weirdgiftoftheday.com. You don't need to sign up for anything. You don't even need to spend a penny. Just follow the page on Facebook and get a smile to start each day when we share the weird gift of the day. Not on Facebook? That's okay. You can see the weird gifts on our website too. weirdgiftoftheday.com. That's weirdgiftoftheday.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by weirdgiftoftheday.com. It's been a while since we've talked about the gifts, and today, in honor of the Mike the Headless Chicken, maybe? I don't know. It's a chicken hat. Probably just a coincidence. I don't think it had anything to do with that. But a chicken hat is the weird gift from weirdgiftoftheday.com. Most people hate going to the Department of Revenue, but one man really liked it, maybe a little too much, and he crossed the line. The place where you go to get your driver's license and your vehicle registration in Troy, Missouri, Timothy Howe kept stopping by. And then he would set up Facebook accounts with fake names to friend these people, and he would buy pizza for the people in the office. And there was one lady in particular that he really kind of liked. And then
yeah, that would be why.
She finally said, "Hey, can you please stop?" Because he was buying her pizza. So she was like, "Can you please stop doing that?" So then he bought pizza for everybody but her in the office. So he finally got himself in a little bit of trouble. He went with a fistful of cash and dropped it in front of her and said, "Hey, go get yourself a manicure or pedicure." Then he walked out of the office. Anyway, they said, "We really don't want you to contact our office anymore." And he was charged with stalking and harassment. and he's on a $20,000 cash-only
Holy
bond.
cow.
So you got to know when to say when. If somebody's not interested, leave them alone.
Right, but I mean, it doesn't sound
He
like
was trying to be
causing
nice.
problems.
No, he was trying to be nice, but he crossed the line, definitely. So just
Yeah.
bizarre. But if you want to bring
At a
us
certain
pizza,
point, if
I'm
you're
just
getting
saying.
creepy, time to back off a little
What kind
bit.
of pizza do you like, Heidi? Just in case. Just kidding. Please don't bring us pizza. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. According to Orange County Sheriff records, this is just bizarre. An elderly man, supposedly pointed a gun at another elderly couple in a dispute over a parking space. This all happened at Disney's Animal Kingdom.
Whoa.
Yeah. They pulled in.
It's supposed to be the happiest place on
It
earth.
is. Well, they didn't even get into the park. This was in the parking lot. So a couple, 62-year-old woman and her 60-year-old husband, were both sitting in the vehicle. They have annual Disney pass holders. They go there all the time. So they're going to the theme park on Sunday. As they were getting ready to pull into the parking space, they were waiting for a car to pull out, and this other vehicle tried to zip into the spot. And
Which is irritating.
He almost hit them. Well, they pulled into the spot. Well, the husband shook his fist at the guy, and that's when they say that guy pulled a gun and shook the gun at them. So the police were called. When they got there were conflicting reports on what happened. The guy in his 70s with a full gray beard in the SUV said he didn't do that. So I don't know. Nobody was arrested because there were,
and there was no weapon, apparently.
So I don't know if there was, if it was stashed.
Well,
I have
if
no
there
idea.
would have been in his car,
Yeah,
he
I don't
would have
know.
been arrested.
I don't know. It doesn't say. Nobody was arrested, so I don't know exactly what happened. But calm down out there. My goodness. Everybody just get along. We're
a
brothers
parking
and sisters.
spot.
All of us. Just get along with each other.
You're too old to be going to Disneyland.
Oh, no, you're not. There's no such thing. I'll be going there till I'm an old person,
It's
too.
not like they're going on any of the cool rides.
They
You know
probably
they're
are.
not.
Probably going on the roller coasters. This has been your moment of duh, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Credit cards. For years, I didn't use credit cards. We paid off all of our debt and we quit using credit altogether. But then our credit score went down. It was affecting our insurance rates. Not sure why, but that's tied to your credit score. I'm not suggesting you rack up credit card debt just to rack up credit card debt. But my wife and I now each use a credit card and then we pay them off every month. It's helped our credit score. But not all cards are the same. Some cards are better than others. If you'd like to find one that's the best fit for you, check out bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net. Now, these three things. Heidi, tell me, what do these three things have in common? Dagwood, grinder, hoagie. You're going to get
They're
this
dogs.
one. No. What? You're going to get this one. Think about that. Dagwood, grinder, hoagie. What are they?
They're buns.
They're all sandwiches.
Okay.
A Dagwood sandwich. A grinder is a sandwich.
A Dagwood is a sandwich?
Yeah, a Dagwood sandwich. And then there's a cartoon strip that's named
that's
after
why.
Dagwood as well.
Yeah. Isn't he a dog?
No, he's
Is
a
a
guy.
cartoon character?
Dagwood and
Is-
Blondie. What are you talking about?
I was thinking it was
Oh,
a dog.
No.
That's why I said dogs. I thought Dagwood was a
No.
That's a stupid name for a person.
No, it's not.
I've
And it's
never
from a long
heard that
time-
name for a person.
Well, you have now. Dagwood, grinder, and hoagie. They're all sandwiches. That's what we found for today.
A grinder is a sandwich? What is a grinder
Just,
sandwich?
you sit still.
You don't know either. You act
I'll
like,
show
oh, I
you.
knew this,
It is a
'cause
good sandwich.
You had the answer in front of you.
These three things.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and it's brought to you by 80sinthedesert.rocks. It's an event coming up in Las Vegas in May 3rd and 4th.
I cannot wait for
and
this.
my beautiful bride and I will be there. And if you are going, there is a promo code radio. Again, 80sinthedesert.rocks. Here's our good news. A new Harvard study says that men can avoid heart problems by doing a certain amount of push-ups. So this is good news. You're going, hey, if you don't want to have heart issues, just do push-ups. How many push-ups, you ask?
How many?
Well, let me tell you. I'm going to read the story here as soon as my computer cooperates with me. And there it is. It's an intriguing study from Harvard shows that middle-aged men who can complete a certain number of push-ups are far less likely to experience heart-related diseases. And it says 40 push-ups is that number. So if you can complete 40 push-ups...
Let's see if you can do 40 right now on the radio. Let's see. I'll count them out.
No, probably cannot. Compared to those who were able to do less than 10 push-ups. So between 10 and 40 is kind of the good, 40 and up is even the best. I've got a link to the story if you want to read all about it. Heidi's going to make me do push-ups now. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah,
6, 7,
right.
8, 9, 10. I'm doing these fast. I kind of forgot that people can't see me. What am I on now? 53?
Yeah, it's amazing.
No. Here's the thing, though. When you're doing the push-ups, I wonder if I have to do it from my tiptoes all the way up, or if I could just do it from my knees up. That's a lot easier.
I don't think knees count.
It doesn't count. I remember in school when we were doing push-ups, there are people that got caught doing that. The cheater push-ups, I think is what they call them. Have you ever tried to do push-ups where you put your feet up higher? That is really hard.
No, I haven't.
So I've done that before, too. When I was in boxing, they made us do that, where you put your feet up high, and you're doing push-ups where you're literally pushing your whole body up. It's a lot harder. So
I suppose.
So if I did those kind of push-ups, maybe I only have to do 1 or 2.
I doubt it.
Probably not.
You'd fall on your face anyways. That'd be hilarious.
Well, we're going to clear things out of the room here, and we're going to do this. No photos will be taken. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. If you want to read that story, I've got a link to that and much, much more in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.